Hello everybody, my name is Sniping Fun, and I'm going to welcome you back to a quick little video I want to present to all of you here today. Just a quick little thoughts of my opinions on the Nintendo E3 of 2017. I know the conference, or lack thereof conference, the Treehouse, Nintendo Direct style event that they basically had this year and have had for a couple years now actually, was a little over like a week ago or so I'm kind of late to the party. But I want to give my opinions anyways and tell you guys what I think about basically what they've shown. Now, before I get started, I want to have a quick little update here. I'm sorry about the lack of videos on the channel lately. I've been kind of swamped with work and haven't had a whole lot of time to really work on too many videos. The last video I did was about like a little over a week ago when I did my top 10 anime I feel need a remake. And I do have other videos planned. I am coming within about a week or two. I'm going to be trying to get out, for you RWBY fans out there, my How I Would Do Volume 5 of RWBY. That comes out like in October, and I'm going to have it out hopefully in the beginning of July, sometime early in July. I just need to kind of think of some stuff through and get stuff ready so I can do that. There are other top 10 lists I have to kind of put together. That anime remake one was the latest one right now. I kind of have to put a few more together so I can do videos on that. And numerous other videos that I basically said I was going to do or I'm going to eventually get to, like the list of Switch and stuff like that. That a lot of my stuff has been kind of delayed and pushed back because, like I said, my schedule at work has been really, really crazy lately after moving from one Kroger store to the other and, time difference and full time and getting all these, a lot more work to do now and, so on and so forth. So stay tuned for more videos from me. I'm sorry I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff from me lately. It's coming. Just have to wait a little bit longer. Sorry. But yeah, this video is about my thoughts on the Nintendo Direct E3 of 2017 and quickly basically my thoughts on it. Like 25 minutes they had of it or so. And some of the stuff they talked about on Treehouse, which I didn't really watch a whole lot of the Treehouse. I just mainly watched the actual event itself. But I kind of know what they've shown at the Treehouse a little bit. So, what are my overall thoughts? I thought it was pretty good overall. I wouldn't say it's the greatest thing Nintendo's ever done with E3, whether it be the old conferences especially, or what they've been doing like the last 3 years now, the Nintendo Direct style variations. It wasn't like the greatest one I don't think they've ever done, but it's definitely not one of the worst shows they've done at E3. They did have some pretty quality content, and they did put in quite a few games in there. We got to see more of Mario Odyssey, the game looks really freaking cool at this point. The whole, the hat taking over, possessing power of like the enemies, that looked pretty cool. The worlds look pretty fun. The game looks like it's going to be a really good blast. And the return of Pauline, apparently, is also a really cool thing to finally see in a mainline Mario game, because every time we basically see her, it's been like the Donkey Kong games or the Mario vs. Donkey Kong games. So it makes me wonder if she's in there, maybe we can get an appearance of Donkey Kong in this game at some point. But that's like the major thing they had at the show, and it did look pretty freaking cool. Metroid Prime 4. For me personally, it wasn't a big announcement because I'm not really a big Metroid fan. Big shock there. There are other Nintendo franchises I like a whole heck of a lot more, while people probably like Metroid more than a lot of the franchises I pretty much like. But I still see why a whole heck of a lot of Metroid fans are going crazy for this event. Crazy for this announcement. The last time we got like a Metroid Prime especially was 2007, so it's been like 10 years now. And the last time we ever got Metroid anything, people didn't really like the Metroid Prime Federation Force, and Other M kind of has its pros and cons and fans and liking, disliking, whatever. But yeah, people who wanted Metroid Prime back, there you go. And I thought it was a big announcement for them to announce that it was coming, but they announced it so freaking early, I think that might take it back a little bit from the announcement, but then actually announcing it was pretty cool. As well as on Treehouse, they announced about the whole remake of Metroid 2 Return of Samus for the 3DS, the Samus Returns. Now that looks pretty freaking cool. And I never really played that one, but this might be my first time to actually really try that one out. So yeah, Metroid got some love this year. Metroid got quite a bit of love this year at E3. Which some other franchises would get that love from Nintendo. F-Zero. Then we basically know there's a new Yoshi game coming. It's basically like Yoshi's Woolly World. It has like the same art style, except it's more like a standard, Yoshi platformer rather than focusing on its wool, like on like the wool type elements. It's basically just like in the same art style as like Woolly World for the most part, but like it's a standard Yoshi platformer, like Yoshi's Story and whatnot, Yoshi's Island, except without crying baby Mario. That looks pretty fun. I'm not super hyped for it, but I can see why a lot of fans might like it, and it does look like it's going to be a good game overall. We know about the whole Pokken tournaments coming to the Switch with a few extra characters, and there's going to be a mainline Pokemon game on the Switch as well, which I'm thinking when they say mainline Pokemon game, a big core Pokemon game, I'm assuming it's going to be a main generational game and not something like Coliseum or XD Gala Darkness. I want this to be, and it sounds like it's going to be, and I think a lot of fans want this to be, a mainline Pokemon game where you get a starter Pokemon, you just go and beat gym leaders and catch Pokemon and stuff like that. Please, 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 Nintendo, don't, and Game Freak and whatever Pokemon company, please don't make this one of those things, you only capture Shadow Pokemon, right? So, super, like, story driven and like limiting like the thing. Like a lot of gamers out there want a full fledged Pokemon game, like from the handhelds on the main console, and this is like a handheld console hybrid, the Switch. So I'm assuming this is going to be Generation 8. I know we just got Generation 7 like a year ago, and later on this year we're getting the Generation 7 second games. Yeah, that makes some sense, but the gap between some generations wasn't really all that freaking long, and we probably will be getting the game next year, but more than likely the Switch Pokemon game will probably be like 2019, and from like 2016 to 2019, that's like 3 years, and that's about the same approximate gap from like Generation 1 and 2 and Generation 2 and 3 and basically Generation 3 and 4 almost. So it's like it's a standard generational gap, about 3 years, 4 years. So I'm assuming this is going to be Generation 8. And I'm really looking forward to a full-fledged like console Pokemon experience. I'm sure as heck hoping it's that. They showed more Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which looks really freaking fantastic, and a lot of people are saying it's too like weebish or too anime-ish compared to say like the original or even X. I really don't care because I actually kind of like the art style, and I know they have the one artist from like Kingdom Hearts on there, and it just looks pretty good. Like I said, I'm used to games like that because I play like Tales and I play a lot of Japanese games, so I'm used to art styles like that. So to me, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I love the original Xenoblade Chronicles, and its art style is still anime-ish, but it's original and it's unique enough. It's different, and it was such an awesome game, the original Xenoblade Chronicles. This game looks like it's going to still be really, really good and really, really fun. We just have to see more of it. And I do like the art style. It looks colorful. The characters look interesting. The world looks interesting. The story apparently looks so far interesting. I am looking forward to that. Then there is, let's see if I remember anything else. I know there is they show Fire Emblem Warriors, and that's looking pretty good. I'm just hoping they start showing more characters. And I know it's mostly going for Shadow Dragon and Awakening and Fates. And I know there are certainly gamers out there. I mentioned this in the rant video of the split between Fire Emblem fans that probably don't really like that. I don't have too much of an issue with it because I know there's going to eventually be other characters, whether it's on the disc or in DLC. They're going to have Hector and Micaiah and Lynn and Roy and Ike. There's no freaking way Fire Emblem Warriors is going to be straight up just those 3 games, people. You got to have patience and wait for characters. They've only shown like 7 characters so far, and 2 of them are originals. So yeah, we're going to see other characters, and it does look like it's going to be really freaking fun. Gotta give it time. It comes out at the end of the year. We still have a couple months for them to finish it and show stuff off. It was just like a small little thing at E3. I am looking forward to that because, like I said, I love the Fire Emblem games, new and old, and all the characters that they could jam pack in there on day one. And it's going to have DLC. Like Zelda, the Hyrule Warriors basically only focused on a couple games, and they started adding a ton of content as DLC. So whether it's on disc or DLC, they are going to add some stuff there, people. I'm looking forward to it because I like Fire Emblem and I like the Mushu games, I like the Warriors games, and I have since pretty much Dynasty Warriors 3. So I'm looking forward to that a whole heck of a lot. And they basically, I'm trying to think what else they showed some stuff on Skyrim, which we know the Zelda stuff in Skyrim. There's that Rabbids game with Mario. It looks really fun. The whole strategy RPG type element of it looks really good, but why couldn't it just be Mario and Rayman? See, that's the thing. I like the Rabbids games to an extent. I like the older ones, like on the Wii and whatnot. They were pretty fun. It was an okay series, but But Rabbids are so freaking annoying. It's looking like going to be a fun game, but I really wish it was just Rayman with Mario, and then you could throw Rabbids characters in there as party members. But you can have like Rayman and like the Axe Lady. I can't remember these characters' names because I haven't played a whole lot of Rayman in recent years. The big giant, I don't know, the Rayman characters, and have some Rabbids as party members, and then expand Mario's cast of party member characters beyond just the four they have in the game, like throwing some Wario and Waluigi and Donkey Kong. It'd be pretty freaking cool if they did that. It still looks going to be a good game, but I just think it's kind of a missed opportunity just to do the Rabbids instead of Rayman himself. And I think that's basically what they showed. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I'm missing at this point. I mean, they did the tournaments for like Splatoon and like ARMS and whatnot. I didn't actually watch those, so I have no freaking clue what happened at those. And that's really about it. Like Nintendo, they had a decent chunk of some stuff they had just announced at the show. But then they also had, showed off like, more Fire Emblem Warriors and Mario Odyssey and stuff like that. Oh, and the Zelda DLC, I forgot about that. The first DLC pack looks pretty cool, like the extra hero mode and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And it's kind of cool that the story mode is actually the 100 years before, like the predecessor storyline, the one that when you go and fight with the heroes and whatnot. That looks pretty cool. So, yeah, overall, it's like they showed a good chunk of like older games like Breath of the Wild and what we knew about like with Odyssey and Fire Emblem Warriors, and then show stuff like Yoshi, Metroid Prime 4, and stuff like that. That's really my opinion. It wasn't really great, but it wasn't really horrible. It wasn't like spectacular, but it wasn't like bad. Like Nintendo has had bad E3s, like really bad. Like the first, I think it was 2012 or so when they showed off Nintendo Land. That one was kind of meh. And I think 2013 was decent. 2014 was a pretty good one. 2015 was okay. I forgot what the heck happened last year besides just being Zelda, basically. Which I think is basically all they really did last year. The last great one, I think, in my opinion, was like 2010 and 11. Like 2010 was such a good year. They showed off a lot of like Wii and DS games. There was like Golden Sun, GoldenEye, Donkey Kong Country Returns, and then throwing off the 3DS. And there was a whole lot of stuff, I think, in 2011. It wasn't as good as like 2010, but there you go. I think 2014 and 2010 were like some of their more recent best ones. 2015 was like okay, if I recall what happened there, and 2013 was okay. 2012 was okay as well. Like, it's like they've had basically okay ones to like quite bad ones in recent years, but they've had ones that kicked it out of the park, like 2014, 2010, and whatnot. This one kind of falls in the middle, in my opinion. It's not as good as like 2010 and 2014, but it's not like one of their more recent like bad ones. They show some good content. I wish they would have showed some more, and I wish we would have got some more announcements for games coming out, especially third parties. Oh yeah, Rocket League too. Forgot about that. That's kind of cool to see that coming. But it is what it is, and hopefully in the coming months we see more games announced. And that is my video for my thoughts on E3 of Nintendo's Direct of 2017. Hope you guys like this video. Put in the comments section what you guys think. What do you guys think of this Direct? What do you guys think about this E3 from Nintendo? What do you guys want to see from Nintendo going forward? My name is Sniping is Fun. Peace. Please subscribe if you want to, and have a lovely day. See you later.